Hi, and welcome to a quick tutorial on how to use playposit to engage students using videos you might otherwise use in class or set for homework. Please go to the playposit website at playposit.com. When you go to playposit.com, you'll be asked to sign up. Click that you're an instructor, write your first name and your last name. Perhaps you'd like to include the title that students use your email address, and then create a password, and then click Submit. You'll then be taken to a page which asks you which of the following areas you primarily teach, and you can select one of those by clicking on the icon. Then you'll be taken to this next page, and you click the area in which you teach in your primary teaching area, and then down the bottom corner you click Next. This will take you to the next screen, and you will let playposit know what you use playposit or showing videos and what their purpose is in your classroom. This may come up. It doesn't come up every time, but you can press skip. This takes you to another master teacher pathway package that you can use, but there starts to be costs involved. You'll eventually get through to this particular page, and you'll notice up the top left hand corner is your name, and you also have a code, and you'll have all these different tabs across the top that you can click onto. Our first job is, of course, to create active students. So you will come to this screen, and you need to scroll down so that you get to this next screen that will allow you to add classes. It's right down the bottom here, so you press that plus sign down there. Once you press the plus sign, it will bring up class name, and you can name your classes, which is what I do. And an example here is I've created an 11 English class. And then I would click on that little yellow icon so that I can start to add students. It'll bring me to this screen where I click Add Students. Down the bottom of the screen it has this, and it's got students' names, students' last name, the email, the password, and the class. You must create the class first, otherwise you'll have nothing to bring up when you click on this pull down tab. When I add a class, it's a little time consuming. I click into this first box under student's name, and I click and click and click enter until I have the same number down the left hand side as I do students in the class. And then I go to TAS, or I manually enter their first name, last name. Their unique username, I usually use the student number. I make their password the student number, and then I can click this down arrow and choose the class I'm going to add that student to. Then if I add the students, when I create a bulb, it'll allow me to monitor my students in the classes that I've created. Now that's really useful. If I click on Monitor, it will bring me to this page, and I can choose the class I want to monitor, and I click the year level down here, and then I go into my list of bulbs and I find the one that I want to particularly look at. In this case I might look at this History Channel video I've used. I click on the picture, it will bring up the word open, and I click it again. You can see here that 15 students completed it, 9 have started it, 3 haven't, and 6 of the students thought this was a really useful activity. Well, that was very new to us when we did this particular task. Once I've clicked that, it will bring up, and down the left I've cut it off here, are all the students' names. The green shows that they have answered the question correctly. The red shows that they did not answer the question correctly, and that may show that the question is poorly written, or it might show that a number of students in that class don't understand that piece of information yet. The little orange squares show where the students have written an answer, and I can click on those little orange squares and find out what they wrote. If you want more information, graphed data, you can go at the top of the page and click the word here, highlighted in blue. This will bring you to the next page, and this will give you a nice bar graph telling you which questions students tend to get right, and seemingly this multiple choice question the students got right, 50% got it right, a couple didn't do it, and the remaining didn't get it right. These are all written answers. I get some interesting data here from question 9 that I could go back and look at, and question 13, because these seem to be the ideas that the student understand. It gives me a little pie graph of an average score and the number completed. And so that I can always go back to that to check on how my students are going, especially if my bulbs are created on YouTube clips that I've created about information that I want the students to have. So this brings me to how I might design a bulb. So if you go up to your dash, return to your dash if there is an icon on a particular page, and you click Design, it will bring you to this page. Now what you have to do here is go to YouTube, for example, and click on the URL of the video that you want to show your students. Copy that URL and paste it here, and then click Continue. For example, I have gone on to Pokemon Go on YouTube, and I found this short little video about people flocking to a particular area to gain a particular Pokemon. To create my bulb, I must give the lesson a title, I must give it a learning objective, and I also must choose a subtopic, and I'll make a reference to that because it won't allow you to go on if you don't choose a subtopic. And then you click Begin Build. Here is where I spoke about the subtopic. Now if you don't have a subtopic like English literature or whatever it might be, you can click Other, and then you click Begin Build. When you do that, you'll come up to this screen. The video will start playing immediately. You can press pause down here, go back to the start. You can crop the video by using the sliders to shorten the video at the beginning or end. If you want to start adding questions, you press play, and as soon as you want a question to appear, you click Add Question. When you click Add Question, this will come up. Now in the free playposit, you can add a multiple choice question, a free response, or a reflective pause. If you decide on a multiple choice question, this page will come up. You write a question in this big box up here. In the lower boxes you type answers. You can add another answer, so if you want more than a 2 question response, or 2 answer response I should say, you can click Add an Answer. You have to remember that where you put this black spot, so if you wanted it here you would just simply click in the second spot, that's the indication for the program that that is the correct answer. So you need to make sure you do that so your data is accurate. So at the end of creating all your questions, you can press preview to make sure the questions are in the right place, that you've asked enough questions, you haven't asked too many questions. And then when you've finished, you click Finish Build. It will bring up this page. You need to click Close here, and then you need to click Save up here. If you click Save, it will bring up this page with a share URL, and you need to copy that URL at the top. If you require students to register, you slide this bar to on, and I want my students to register. That means to sign in and use the information that I've used to create the student account. So their password, for example, is their student number, because I want to collect data. If I don't want to collect data, I can slide to off. That will give me a different URL, and it won't require the students to sign in because they will not, and they can watch the video because they will not have data collected about their responses. When I finish this, I can dismiss this, and then I need to go and open my email and paste this URL and send it to my class. Good luck on creating your playposit to engage your students.